March 17, class number 338, all things are possible. I want to start with by saying, let me just start with this. You guys probably remember that I said one night I was sitting there watching television, and it's like my mind went blank, and I heard this voice say something really nice, something really wonderful is going to happen to you by your birthday. This was the week before my birthday, which was going to be on February the 26th, and this was like the previous Saturday night. And so that had been around the 19th. And so the next day, I got that call, and I told, you guys know that story, so I'm not going to go into that all over again. I got that call where the guy told me that the recording artist calls himself RZA. They had sampled my voice, and their music was getting ready to be released. And I was like, oh, wow, that's wonderful, and it came back to me. Something wonderful is going to happen to you by your birthday. So I'm like, that's beautiful, and I'm going on down the road. And I had this, it wasn't long after that, we got into March. I think it was after my birthday, sometime right after my birthday, it snowed one more time. I think it might have been March, or no, it was in February. It snowed, had a heavy snow with ice in it and what have you, and it pulled my gutter down on the front of the house, just laying down. And I called this guy. I called Travelers and filed a claim, and they came out and looked at it, and what was really great was the guy says his name was Ransom. And I had gone to school with a guy named Tom Ransom, and I mentioned him to the guy, and he says, oh, yeah, that's my family. And he just said, I'm going to take care of you. Don't even worry about it. I said, I got another house up in Forestville, the same thing has happened. He said, yeah, in fact, I'm working 20 claims right now for gutters where the snow tore them off. And so he took care of me with this house, and he took care of going up to the other house, and then they promptly sent me checks to pay for the stuff. And so rather than just go out calling all these different companies to see what it would cost to get it put back up, I knew I had the money, so I said, I'll just be comfortable. The right thing will happen. Well, I got this. People started coming by. You need help with that? No, I got it. It's taken care of. Then another guy came by. I work for this company, and we can give you a quote. I can come by. I can have them come by this evening. And I said, no, that's okay. I'm good. I'll take care of it. And then I forgot about it, and I thought about how it looked. And people, looking at it, I said, man, I must be the shame of the neighborhood. And then this week, I heard that voice came to me again. It was somewhere like last Sunday maybe or whatever. It's like something really nice is going to happen to you before April comes in. Something really wonderful. And something really wonderful is going to happen to you by the time of Cynthia's birthday, which is May the 20th. And I was like, yeah, okay. That's just me expanding the last time I heard that. It was like, no, something really wonderful is going to happen. And I went on and I said, okay. And I forgot about it. And then I got up last Monday to go jogging. When I walked outside, I saw this note, and it was on my truck, right under the windshield wiper. I pulled it off, guy said, and it said gutter work. Now, I haven't told you all about how my wife's cousin was going to come over, and he was going to fix the gutter, and he's going to get this guy, and they're going to do all these wonderful things. And I had to call him 2 or 3 times, and each time he's got a different excuse for why they haven't been here to fix it yet. So I said, okay. Well, when I saw this note, I said, something just felt right about it. And it had his number and his name on it. And so I said, I'll call him when I get back from jogging. So I go out jogging, and there's this the lady driving the mail truck, and she's going over to the condos, the townhouses, and putting the mail in. And, you know, the townhouses have this, they don't have, each person does not have a mailbox because there's too many of them. So they got this one stand sitting out there where the mailbox opens up, and everybody's mail slot is in there. They all got a little key, and they go get their mail out. And so I'm jogging. I come down the hill, and when I get kind of close to her, she's coming around the side of her truck, and she looks up, and she looks right at me, and then puts her head back down. She's on her phone, and she's got the mail that she's going to put in the boxes. So when I get right close to her, probably about 2 or 3 feet away, I know she's seen me. And I just said, how you doing? And she looked at me, oh, you scared me to death. And I said, what? You looked right up at me. You saw me. And now here you go with this. And she was like, I didn't see you. I said, oh, okay. I said, well, I was just saying hello. I said, but in the meantime, just go ahead. Go on, keep on talking on your phone. You know, you in your mind, you're saying she's not paying attention to what she's doing. She's more on the phone than putting in mail. The mail, probably getting people's mail confused. I just went on. I was angry, and I'm going up the hill, and this little voice was like, how long are you going to be mad? I was like, man, that's right. Let me get my mind back where it needs to be. I finished my job. I come home, and I said, well, let me go ahead on and call this guy. Now, I wear a little hoodie when I'm jogging. I reached in the little pouch in the front where I had put the little paper, and it was gone. And I said, oh, wait a minute. I know I put it there. And someone said, well, maybe you didn't. I said, no, I know where I put it. Then it dawns on me. You down there, you're mad at that woman. You probably put your hands in your pocket, and you might have knocked it out of there or pulled it out. And I said, okay, well, let me go back down there where that was. And I go back down, and driving past where I had passed her, I see this little piece of paper laying down on the sidewalk. I said, that's got to be it. And I stopped, got out, and that was it. Right before doing that, I said, now, Lord, I ain't looking for no sign. I said, but I know good and well that if I find this paper, I was supposed to call this guy. I picked it up, and it was the right one. I got back home. I felt real good. I called him. He said, I'll come out on Wednesday morning. He said, and I'll give you a quote. I'll be there between 9 and 9:30. He got here, of course, at 8:45. And I was just turning over to get up to bed. And I said, okay. He called. I said, I'll be right there. And so I opened the door, and there he was. And he just said, okay, I'm going to go around and look, and I'll tell you what it's going to cost. He went around and told me and came back. And it was a price that I felt was really, it was fair. But even more so, it was a lot less than what the insurance company had given me. So I said, well, this is cool. And then I remember my brother said, you ought to get that leaf filter thing, too, so you never got to do those leaves again. So he added the cost of that in, and it was still a real treat as far as I was concerned. And I'm like, wow, man, something really wonderful is going to happen. I said, when are you going to do the work? He said, well, I got my guys with me. We do the work today. He said, you going to be home out there? I said, if you're going to do the work. He said, fine. I said, can you take a check? I said, and he said, as long as it's good. I said, come on, man. And he said, okay. So he went around, he looked, gave me the price, everything straight. So then he said, okay, I got to go get all of the stuff, so give me a deposit. I gave him the deposit. He went out, and he had another guy stay here. He said, in fact, I'll throw in, he said, we'll clean all the gutters all the way around for you. He said, but this one, we'll just put a new one up, and where you need new wood, we'll put that up, we'll paint it, and everything will be fine. I said, okay. And they came here, and they stayed. They cleaned all of the leaves, put all of the gutters up, put the guards on top of the gutters, and finished the whole job. And I paid him, and he left, and I said, I got another house, and I'll give you the address, and you check that one out, too. So then I came back in, and I said, wow, something really wonderful is going to happen before April gets here. I was like, wow, this is it. And the little voice was like, no, that's not it. And took me back to earlier in the week, which was actually that same morning that I took his number and said I'm going to call him. It was early, like 4 or 5 in the morning. I had this dream. And I dreamed that I was walking along this like a little street, little house. It's not a whole street. It was kind of narrow out there now that I think about it. And I'm going, it's just a little slant, going up a slight incline. And I'm holding, Cynthia has her arm around me and helping me balance myself because I'm holding this little baby in my arms, squeezing it real so I can't drop it. And it's a newborn baby. And I have this leash with a little white dog, a real pretty white dog. And but it's small, little dog. And the little dog is running about 5 feet ahead of me, 5 to 6 feet, something like that. And he's headed to this door. And the door is open. The door opens. He's going through the door. I'm holding the leash, not letting it go, holding with my right hand, holding the baby in my left hand, and Cynthia with her arm wrapped around me, helping me, and we're going up this little incline, going through that door. And I said, wow, what does that mean? And so I said, well, you know what? I'm going to look up each one of these terms. I got books in here that talk about it. I got all kinds of stuff. I said, well, everybody's had some kind of a dream like this, so I just look up these terms. So the first thing I looked up was the name Cynthia, of course. And it means moon goddess, feminine, feeling. The moon is a feminine symbol universally representing the rhythm of time as it embodies the cycle. The phases of the moon symbolize immortality and eternity, enlightenment. Now that was something triggering me to know your wife is not dead. The shell or concept you had has been pushed aside, and the reality of who she really is blatant. It's shining through. It's helping you. It's moving you with this baby. So then I go to baby. And it says, usually baby dreams are a really positive sign that represent growth or development, either with you personally or with something that you are working on. It's a message from the subconscious saying this new thing is great. It's time to focus and nurture it. It's time to get busy. Goes on to say, dreams of holding a baby are associated with new beginnings, growth, breakthroughs, and having a sense of fulfillment in life. Having these dreams also manifests your inner child's attributes of innocence, happiness, gentleness, and enthusiasm. Well, of course, y'all know I'm feeling real good now. I'm like, wow, okay, something wonderful is happening here. Then I look up the little white dog. The white dog's spiritual meaning is a positive one associated with pure feelings and magical abilities. The omen of the white dog has been interpreted as a sign from the Creator bearing unknown religious purpose. The white dog spirit is a harbinger of positive change. Another good omen is when a stray dog follows you. A white dog symbolizes fidelity, loyalty, love, respect, appreciation, gratitude, protection, and many other beneficial things, beneficial meanings. Seeing a white dog in your dream often indicates a period of peace coming into your life. I immediately thought about Jesus in a twinkling of an eye. A white dog symbolizes love, respect, and gratitude. A white dog ushers in a time of peace in your life, perhaps after some turmoil, and assures you that you are protected. Seeing a white dog in a dream is a good sign. Like puppies, white dogs are synonymous with peace, purity, and innocence. You have made and will make the right decision, which results from a generous and empathetic appearance. Your love for others and your ability to make good choices will be worthy of countless pleasant surprises. Y'all can imagine how I'm feeling now. It goes on, dreaming of a white dog. If you have seen a white dog in your dream, it means that a great period is expecting you in the near future. You will have success. Dreaming of dogs symbolizes generosity, loyalty, protection, and intuition. They bring knowledge of the self to awareness while bringing comfort, protection, and sometimes warnings. They have come to your dream to guide you on your path in life. Remember, I said now, the little white dog was out in front, and Cynthia was holding me like an angel and moving me through this door. So I go on. I'm popping all over. I'm feeling real good, and I look up door. The dream of a door represents access, new opportunities, and changes. It may also reflect an available option, a chance to do something different. A door can also symbolize a transition from one stage of your life to another. Consider the colors, numbers, images, and your feelings associated with the door for further meaning initiating. To dream of an open door represents new opportunities or options ready or waiting for you. It may also reflect a new opportunity or change that has already been initiated. Noticing yourself doing something different in your life, your own receptiveness to new ideas or new situations. And I'm sitting there thinking, that which is to be has already been, and that which has been is right now, and God will avenge you of your persecutors. Now, knowing that the persecutors are nothing more than the negative thoughts that you've been keeping and holding on to, self-talk. An open door signifies entering a new stage in your life with new opportunities. You are a person that is receptive and willing to accept new ideas and change. Now, I'm thinking, this is wonderful. This is great. This thing is just really something, man. This dream has been here, like in Job, in a dream, in a vision of the night. When a man sleeps on his bed, I seal his instruction. Okay, so I'm feeling good, right? The next night, I dreamed that there's this small black bulldog pug chasing me. I said, what in the world? I said, now what is this? And I'm running from this dog, and the dog is chasing me, and I run up some steps, and the dog follows. He's just barking and yapping and trying to bite me. And I see this like a banister, but it's a solid banister, and you can't. It's about 5 feet high. So I hop up on the banister and hop over the side, and the little dog couldn't get up there, and he couldn't get over, and he couldn't chase me any further, and I was free of it. So I looked up, what is that? What? A small black dog chasing me. You're being chased by your past, fears, failures, losses, etc. You always looked outward for solutions, as in connecting with right people or doing what appeared right to do outwardly, hoping for right results. Jumping over a barrier and getting away means you were released from the past and its failures. Your inability to bring about perfect solutions spiritually. The barrier wasn't removed. It's planted, but the past, the small black bulldog pug can't get over it and get to you. Look how small the black bulldog pug was and is and always will be. Your past has quit chasing you, and you've moved on into something new. Now, if that's not good enough to say, wow, man, things are really changed, I'm into this newness of life, spiritually speaking, new opportunities, I feel like now doors are all open. I've gone through this open door. The ministry is there. I realize my wife is not dead. She's spirit. life is eternal. There is no end of life, and so therefore, it's like when you shuck when you do some shucking, what shows up is the ear of corn, full grain in the ear. So the shucking is okay. The outer is gone, but the inner, the soul, the life shines right on. All things are possible now. That's our title. That's what we're talking about. So I started to meditate mind, idea, manifestation. And when we realized that in faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. We realized that when the centurion came to Jesus and said, I know that if you speak this word, my servant will be healed. And Jesus said, I've not seen faith like this in all of Israel. Go your way. Your faith has made you whole. That's always intrigued me. Your faith makes you whole. Jesus did not heal the man's son. The man's faith healed his son. And I'm sitting there going, okay. Then the next thing that pops in my mind is the woman with the issue of blood. I wonder why over the years, these are the prime examples that always come to me whenever I'm thinking about something about faith. And this woman says, if I could just touch his clothes, I'll be healed. Well, she crawled through the press and did that. And Jesus said, who touched me? And she said, it was me. And he says, your faith has made you whole. And then I was reading in a book called Your Heritage by Walter Lanyon. And he says, Jesus called the mind the substance of things hoped for. And Paul said in 1 Corinthians 2, we have the mind of Christ. So I'm sitting there thinking, the mind, what is the mind? And it's like, well, the mind is the thoughts and the feelings harmonized, and that brings about a manifestation. They're harmonized over what? The perfect idea. The perfect idea is the complete idea, the idea of what you desire, what you want. I start thinking about, what things soever you desire when you pray, when you trap the idea of that which you desire, you're one with God. You have the mind of Christ. That thing is manifest right then. It's immediate. It's just that because of this outer seeming world, it looks like it takes time to show up, which means the patience is having its perfect work. So I'm saying, wait a minute. Mind, the mind of Christ, means the enlightened, the anointed. I know that in Aramaic, one of the terms for anointed is appointed. So you have been appointed a mind, which is the Christ mind, which will cause all things to manifest if that mind accepts it as the complete idea of that which you desire. You have to have it because that's how it works. The mind gives birth to an idea, and the idea, through inspired thought, is manifest. Your faith makes you whole because if you desire something that you feel like you don't have, the mind is saying you do have it. You have the idea. And the mind is the substance that causes the idea to be born. It doesn't do you any good if you say, I would like to have a chocolate cake. And I say, okay, well, come on over to my house and I'll give you a chocolate cake. And you come over and I give you all of the ingredients for the chocolate cake, but no recipe, No nothing. Just give you all of the ingredients. You're still in the same soup that you were in. You don't have a cake. You have the potential of a cake, but until you can get the instructions, which I call the kingdom of God, the counsel, which would be the recipe of how to make the cake, your mind can't really do you any good. So what you have to do then is what? I have to have an idea of what the recipe is. And once the mind says, well, I have the idea of the recipe, then Paul kicks in, my God, good mind shall supply all your need according to his riches and glory by Christ Jesus, by the appointed Savior. I am. Remember, Jesus means Jehovah will save. And so, through this contemplation of all of this, I ran across this word, and it was expansion. Expansion. I said, expansion? Wait a minute. That's in Isaiah 54. And if you go through all of Isaiah 54, I'm not going to read all of that today because we don't have enough time to go through all of that. But when you think about it, he's saying, give praise, O barren, you who did not bear, and break forth into singing and rejoice, you who have not travailed with child. That means more are the children of the barren than the children of her that is beloved by her husband, says the Lord. Where are all these children? These are your divine ideas that are just dormant. They're laying there. God says, all things are yours. I've given you everything. You have the substance, the mind of Christ. You have the mind, the substance of what it is that you hope for. And what you're hoping for is this idea. That's your goal. And you're hoping that this idea manifests itself, which it does the moment you hope it manifests itself. It's there. It's already there. And what's happening is, through your inspired thought, what is that? I'm thinking about having it. I'm thinking this is mine. I'm thinking about God. God is all. I'm going through this little contemplation, and in an hour that you think not, what does that mean? That means when you're not thinking about how this thing's going to come into your life, you're not thinking about how, why. You're not thinking about, why. You know the answer to why because that's the process. But when and if, that's the start. That takes you off into doubt. So I'm thinking about expansion. Is that, okay, so enlarge the place of your tent and stretch forth the curtains of your habitations. Spare not, lengthen your cords, and strengthen your tent pegs. For you shall expand on the right hand and on the left, and your descendants shall inherit the Gentiles and make the desolate cities to be inhabited. I always interpret in myself Gentiles as negative thought, doubt, all this stuff that's telling you why you can't have this and why you can't have that and why you don't have. Remember, you got to remember now, you're expanding your consciousness because that little black pug dog is not chasing you anymore. Your fears, your doubts, all that stuff's gone. See, it says for a little, I'm not going to read all the rest of that, but it says for a little while I was angry. What does that mean? How is God angry with me? Well, for a little while, this Christ mind is being ignored, and this carnal mind is running things on the outside. And so, therefore, that it feels like nothing is happening on your behalf. It feels like you're just chasing and trying trying to bring forth this thing that you really, really desire, but it's not happening. But in the twinkling of an eye, in an hour that you think not, when you quit thinking, that anger's gone. See, when you think about it, you are the one who is angry. You are the one who is disappointed and disgusted and frustrated and suffering from what the doctors call depression and all this because you don't think you have what you want. But now I am going to do what? My face is not being hidden from you anymore. The veil is removed. You jumped over the barrier, and this veil is removed. It says, and I'm not going to be angry with you anymore. In other words, you have blended yourself in one accord with me. This mind of Christ has taken over. And now this mind of Christ can't be angry, can't harm you. It can only show you that which already is, that which has come. That idea is made manifest in consciousness and through the inspired thinking. What inspired thinking? God is not angry with me. There's no separation between me and God. I'm sitting up here thinking God is mad at me. God is angry. God is punishing me for my guilt. God is not doing the thing that I need God to do. That's carnal mind thinking. There's nothing but God. And the moment that is dropped, then what happens is the mountains are brought low, the hills bent down, and the kindness is not going away. The covenant of your peace is not going to be removed. God is merciful. And this is the part that really blows you out. Oh, you afflicted one, tempest-tossed, and not comforted. Behold, I will set your stones in beryl, lay your foundations with sapphires, and I will make your walls of jasper and your gates of crystal and your borders of precious stones. You're rich. You've always been rich. I have given you all that I am. There's no way to not be rich. That just really clicked in me. You cannot not be rich. I am rich in thee. You can't be, and rich has so much more than money, wealth. It is wealth. It is wisdom. It is prosperity. It's this overall sense of well-being. It's this thinking of something wonderful has happened. And I'm still a long way away from April. This is wonderful. And all your children shall learn of me, and great shall be the peace of your children. It says, in righteousness shall you be established. You shall be far from oppression. You will not fear. Destruction shall not come near you. All those who are brought back by my hand shall enter into you, and they shall be as a place of refuge for your inhabitants. It says, behold, I have created the smith who blows the coals in the fire and brings forth an instrument for his work. What does fire do? Cleanses impurities. I have created the ravager to destroy. To destroy what? The negative thought. The black bulldog can't get at you anymore. You went through the door. Your consciousness is expanded out to the point where you've accepted the fact that I have the mind of Christ, and through that mind I give birth to the ideas. Everything that I want is an idea. And the moment I realize that I have it by thinking through this Christ mind, thinking that it's already manifested, this thing just, without any effort on my part, which is called grace, it just shows up. A transition has taken place. Instead of being personality-based as an individual, now I am the individual who is spiritually based with the mind of Christ, giving birth to the divine ideas and manifestation. And therefore, I have no need to sit around and ever wonder if, when, how. I don't have to do any of that. I just know with conviction that no weapon that is fashioned against me shall prosper, every tongue that will rise against you in judgment, you shall condemn. And then it says, this is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is of me. You are righteous because your righteousness is of me. That means God is righteous. You are righteous because you are the I. Who you are determines what is going to be the glory and appearance of your life experiences. Who you are is the most important thing. And that's why every week we have pressed and pushed on it and talked on it. Who you are. Spirit with the mind of Christ. Realizing the already birthed ideas through you desire this. And that manifestation has already taken place. And when you do that, you're righteous. When you do that, you are as righteous as rain. You cannot not be righteous. That's the thinking that we're talking about. That's the self-talk that we're talking about. I can't not be righteous. I can't not be rich. I can't not be famous. The fame of Jesus went throughout the Holy Land. That means the whole land, all around. The fame of you has to go out and touch those who are ready to receive the good that's embodied within who they are. Knowing who you are opens the door. And that little dog, that little angel, is leading. I will send an angel before you to keep you in the way and to bring you into the place that I have prepared for you. What you? The personality called Michael Orr? Nope. That personality called Michael Orr is the vessel that I express through. I call it man. But I am the individual expressing through this man the ideas that I am embodied with because God has filled me with his purpose, with his goodness. Like Susie said one day, we're just supposed to be enjoying ourselves. That's right. That's what we're supposed to be doing. And God glories in the fact that we're enjoying ourselves. Here's the home run hitter right here. Without faith, it's impossible to please God. Now, you can't be without faith because to each one is given the measure of faith. To each one is given the mind of Christ. To each one is given the mind of Christ, which is the measure of substance that is required to bring about the manifestation of the beautiful ideas. And when you look at something on the outer and you see that it appears to be negative, it appears to be bad, it appears to be hurtful, if you wait and realize, yeah, I'm looking at this, I'm looking at what it looks like, it appears to be whatever. If I wait, the good is going to come forth. Because I know that when, just like yesterday, somebody called and told me that somebody was sick and they needed me to pray. Somebody told me that their parents were sick. Somebody told me that a good friend that I grew up with, a guy we used to call Butch, his name was A.C. Cunningham, Jr., and he was an attorney in Chicago, and I spoke with him several years ago, and we were talking, and he was saying, no, I'm just retiring now. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to, sit around and I guess enjoy life. I don't know. He just said he wasn't going to do much. He wasn't going to do anything anymore. Wasn't taking on any more clients. He had been a judge in Chicago, and 2 days ago, he passed. And as I was reading Walter Lanyon, And he was talking about there was a person who had this painting. And they didn't see much to the painting. They thought it was worthless, and they really didn't like it. And so they gave the painting away. But the person that they gave the painting to was more of a curator of sorts. And this person happened to notice that on the corner of the painting, the canvas was kind of peeling away. And he was like, how does that happen? You know, I've got plenty of paintings here that I got paintings that Kenny's wife, Dorothy, has done. And none of the canvases are not peeling away. They're stapled in such a way where they can't. But this one was starting to peel away. And so the person said, well, why is this peeling? They started pulling it. And when they started pulling it away, it kept pulling away. And when they pulled it away, behind it was a painting which was thought of as a priceless heirloom. The person who didn't know what they had, that was personality-based, carnal man. This is worthless. Couldn't see past what was there. But the person who saw something peeling away, peeled the rest of it away, and ended up with a priceless heirloom. When you peel away the veil on you and strip it down and pull it, there's nothing back behind. There is a priceless heirloom called Christ, which is you, the I that I am, with the mind filled with ideas, soul, and through all of that, that mind is there and has been waiting and waiting and waiting. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. Let me in, and I and my Father will come in and sup with you. That's you and your Father will step through and tell the personality to cease and desist. Your place is to do the thing that I give you to do. Just be there and let there be. Let that which is to be, that which has always been, that which is now manifest. All things are possible. Only believed. You see, the wonderful thing that has happened for me before April is a conviction of this is how it is. This is expanded consciousness to understand that I can have anything that I want. I don't care what it is. I just need to ask myself a couple of questions. Is this something that Jesus would do? He was the way shower. Would he want something like this? Well, yeah, because I don't want anything that is going to be harmful, destructive, or that is going to be seen as taken advantage of, using, or something that's going to deprive someone else of something. I remember when it came to me very clearly, Luke 6:38, give and it will be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down and shaken together, will men give unto your bosom. And the preachers turned all that into nothing more than just money. But in reality, I don't care what you're giving. I'm giving right now. That means I'm receiving. Give, and it is given. For he who asks receives. He who gives receives. Giving and receiving are the same thing. I don't care what you're giving. As I look out and I realize there's nothing there, because each time I see a person, I am practicing peeling down what's behind that layer called the veil, that personality, that mask. When I peel that away, there's nothing there but the Christ. I see that. I can have anything I want because my desires always pass the test of is this going to harm or hurt or whatever? What do you want? What do you really want? Well, I want to express this light. I want to express my life. I want to share what it is that I have. I want to be able to do the principles of God. I want to have a beautiful life. I want to enjoy the time that I spend on earth. I want to enjoy it every day. I don't want to wait till a month from now. I don't want to wait till I get a hit record. I don't want to wait until I sell something and I get the money. No, I want to enjoy the idea of I can have what I want, and I know within my heart what I want is right, and it's right for me, and it's right for you, and it's right for everybody. I don't care. I know that it is not my job to go out here and force people into thinking like me, being like me, doing these things. My job is to look at people and realize them for who they are. Peel back that veil. And I know that that's loving my neighbor as myself. That's one of the most powerful self-talk thoughts that I can have. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That golden rule. I know that all things are possible. Only believe. Only believe what? I am the Christ. I am anointed, meaning appointed. I have this mind which gives birth to the ideas of things that have already happened in my life. I am now aware of them, and I don't need to get them from anybody else, and I don't need people to validate who or what I am. All things are possible. Only believe. Amen. And so it is.